Hello and welcome to Sky Garden 2025, week 12, the end of August now, so things are coming along pretty good. It's a beautiful day, a little chilly, but a beautiful day in the Sky Garden. So here is the chive plant. Look at all those flowers on there. Flowers are edible until the seeds have been pollinated and start to turn black. So as you can see, way up close here, the seeds are still green, so you can eat those and it tastes very much like garlic. Here's the rest of the plant, doing very well. Here are the bunching onions, or green onions, or spring onions, or whatever you like to call them. They're also coming along very well. Then we have the California Wonders, green peppers. They're doing pretty well too. There's a whole bunch on there. I have a bit of an infestation of white flies on there, so I've been spraying the plants to keep the white flies down. So that's the one plant. Here is the second plant. It also has a whole bunch of peppers on there that you can see. And kind of walk around these guys, walk around. Then we have the third plant, which also has someplace, there we go, some peppers on that as well. And next up is the cherry tomatoes, which are drooping over quite a bit over here. There's still a few of those going, but we've been eating those like crazy. That's plant one over here, plant two over here. We've been eating our fill of those peppers for the last month or so. Then we have the slicing tomatoes, the beefsteaks, which there's a whole bunch of those on there. They're not ripening yet. So what I do normally is as soon as they start to blush, I pick them off and set them inside in the windowsill, and they will ripen. Now here are the Roma tomatoes, which are doing really well. There's all kinds on there. I've been harvesting these like crazy, as you'll see at the end of the video when I show you the harvest. So that's plant one, plant two. Now here are the jalapenos, which are also doing very well. Oh, got this in the face. Okay, so the jalapenos are doing really well. All kinds on there. We got a bit of a red one somewhere where I can find it. There it is. Starting to turn red there. So there's a red jalapeno. Again, when they start turning red, I can take those off the plant and put them on the counter by the window, and they will ripen up. All kinds of jalapenos. So anybody wants some jalapenos, let me know. I'm gonna make pickled jalapenos, and I'm also gonna make honey jalapeno dipping sauce. We just go on and on and on and on. Then we have the Hungarian peppers, which are doing pretty well. We have one red one down there. There's a little red Hungarian pepper. Apparently, this is the first time I've grown Hungarian sweet peppers. Apparently, when they ripen and get red, they get a little bit spicy. So we'll see what happens goes, if they do get a little spicy or not. A couple more over there just starting to turn orange. Now down here we have the lettuce that I started a couple weeks ago. It's not doing very well. Not sure why. Whether it's too much sun. I've kept them fairly watered, so I don't know about that. Now here's the bean plant. It's had the biscuit. It is done for the season. So what I'm doing with these yellow beans that are still on here is I'm just leaving those on there so they dry out, and I will have some seeds for next year. But as you can see, the leaves are pretty much toast. Then, now we'll just turn back over here. All these jalapenos, so I've got a duck under this guy, got these in the way. And here's the sage plant, which is looking pretty sad. See that powdery mildew on there, so I'm gonna have to spray this again with some vinegar and water to get rid of that. But I don't really use a lot of herbs, fresh herbs in my cooking, so my herbs end up being kind of neglected. Now here's that tomato plant I started a few weeks back. It's getting really big. It's actually got a couple of little tiny tomatoes on there. I don't know if you can see those little tiny ones, but I doubt that they will produce anything before the frost hits. Got about another maybe 5-6 weeks till the frost hits, and then we'll be harvesting everything, whether it's ripe or not. There is a basil plant I started. There's the chives from the golf course. I'll have to take those inside before the frost. Now here's the little triple thingy. There is the rosemary, which I harvested a little bit. Here's the big basil plant. It's coming along. Now here is the mint plant. But as you can see, something is eating my spearmint plant. It's all gobbled up there, pretty much everything. I don't know what that is. Can't be a rodent or anything because it can't get way up here, except for a squirrel that likes to climb up the side of the building. So some kind of bugs are getting at those. Anyway, that's the outdoor portion of the Sky Garden so far. And I'll be right back with the indoor portion of the Sky Garden. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share with your friends. Up to 22 subscribers now. Woohoo! Alright, here's the indoor portion of the Sky Garden, which I've totally neglected. Unfortunately, I have to get to these, and you can see all the leaves that are falling off there. So there's the parsley plant. I have harvested some of that as a garnish for some of my cooking. Then we have the mint plant. No bugs are getting at this one because it's inside, but I don't know what's eating the ones that are outside. There's the rosemary. It's bushing out really nice. I gotta trim the tops off of those so it bushes out even more. There's the oregano in the back there. It's starting to go to flower, so I have to trim off all those flowers. Then we have the basil plant right here, which is getting fairly large. And again, it's getting flowers on it, which you don't really want, because when it starts to flower, then the leaves get a little bit bitter. Then way back here we have the thyme plant, which is doing pretty good. A little bit of old dead leaves on there that I gotta pick off. And then if you remember, I had the the basil plant that had all those roots on it. I did end up getting that potted up. You saw that in the outdoor portion of the Sky Garden. So thanks a lot for watching. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share with your friends. And I will be right back with the harvest for this week. Alright, here we have some cherry tomatoes, some green onions, and a Hungarian pepper. Here's a whole bunch of tomatoes starting to ripen. That's about it for the Sky Garden for this week. Thanks for watching.